And I know it's been, you know, just a few months, but I have an exciting, I guess, announcement. I think it's exciting, is that I'm not just here for a pop-on video to say hello, to chat about books, or there's a readathon going on that I'm participating in, but to say that I'm officially coming back. This is me coming back into the BookTube world, and I do plan on making regular videos, and I'm really excited. I know that a couple years ago when I took a sabbatical, a step back, or whatever you want to call it, it was much needed. It was a very hard decision, but life was really crazy at the time, and something had to give. Something had to leave my schedule, leave the things that I had to do, and unfortunately BookTube was the thing that I had to let go of. And I had been doing my channel for almost 5 years or 4 years at the time, and I was just burnt out on it. I was putting so much effort into it, and I just felt like I wasn't getting a lot of growth, or whatever you want to call it, and I was just really frustrated and really just at the point where it's like, I just can't do this anymore. And so taking a step back was very, very wise decision. I never thought it would be a 2-year step back. I thought I would just take a couple months off, but then, you know, we had a child, and trying to juggle having a child and my husband working an hour from home and all of that stuff, like, it just was, 2 years is what I needed. And now I've just been really excited about getting back in front of my camera and talking to you guys about books. I'm really excited about being back into this community. I have a new passion for making videos. I think that if you're going to take time out of your schedule and out of your day, that you have to be passionate about what you're doing. And so if you're not passionate about it, it's just like you're just doing it to do it. And so all of that to say is I am really excited about getting back into my channel and making videos and talking about books and getting back into the community. So let's dive right into what happened in the month of April. I thought about talking about all the books I've read so far this year, but I just didn't want the video to be like so long. And also I'm just going to start from where I am now. I don't need to backtrack. We're just going to talk about the month of April, and we'll just move on from here. So there are 2 books that I started in April but did not finish that I want to mention. The first book is Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is a fantasy novel, and I've gotten about a third of the way through, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just, there's been other things that have taken my attention. I have a 2-year-old son, you know, husband who's home all day. And so it's just one of those things that's like, reading this book hasn't been on the top of my priority list. But I do want to finish this really soon, because this was due at the library like a week ago. And so I really want to turn this in so, you know, I don't have such a huge fine for it. I do appreciate that my library has stayed open in that they're doing curbside pickup for books, and so you just go on the online registry and pick out your book, and you go pick up your books like you do at a restaurant. You get your food, you call, and they bring out your books, and so it's been really nice. So really appreciate that. So anyway, so I need to turn this book back in, but I need to finish it before I do. So I'm really enjoying it, so hopefully I will finish it in the next couple days. So the other book that I started was the illustrated edition of The Prisoner of Azkaban. I started this book during the Reading Rush Stay Home, whatever readathon that was a couple weeks ago, and it was nice to get back into a world that I know and love and escape into. And so I don't know, I'm like just into it. I think they're on the train to school, and so really enjoying it. This is my first time to read through The Prisoner of Azkaban Illustrated Edition, so I just love experiencing this world through an artist's eye. So those are the 2 books that I started but did not finish in April. The next 2 books that I'm going to talk about are books that I technically did not read during April, but I do book reviews for an online magazine called Intel Magazine, and so I thought an interesting way to talk about the books that I read for them is to mention the books that are in whatever month we are talking about. So for the month of April, to talk about the books that are in that month's issues. First one I want to mention is How to Tame a Beastly Lord by Bree Wolfe. So this book is a historical fiction. It's a semi-retelling of the Beauty and the Beast story, and I really enjoyed it. So if you want to see my full review, I am going to put a link down to my review. The second book that I want to mention is Gift of Grace by Shanna Hatfield, and this is a sweet Christmas romance story. It was really short. It was great writing. So again, I'll put a link down to the full review in the magazine's issue if you want to check it out, if you are looking for a Christmas story to read in May or maybe in July, for Christmas in July. So the only book that I actually read for myself for pleasure during the month of April and finished was Sweetbriar Cottage by Denise Hunter. And this is a contemporary romance story. Denise Hunter is one of my favorite authors. I read all of her newer stuff that is out, and I'm working on reading her backlist. And I just really enjoy her writing, and I enjoy reading like her older stuff and seeing how she has grown as an author. I definitely think that her newer stuff in the last 5 years is a lot stronger than like her very first novel. This is one of the books that I hadn't read. It is part of her Blue Ridge series. It's about a married couple that thought they were divorced and then find out that their divorce papers never were finalized, and so the last year and a half they've been married and they have to, you know, figure out what they're going to do. And so it's an interesting storyline. I wasn't the biggest fan of the main character. He was kind of a jerk throughout the novel, so I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The writing was still great, storytelling was still great, the plot was great, all of that. Is just the main character wasn't my favorite, but the overall arcing story I really enjoyed. So okay, so that is what I did in the month of April. I'm really excited about being back in this community. My vegetables are done for dinner, so I need to go get those done. I hope you guys are having a great reading month, and hope you guys are finding joy in this time. And my child is yelling for me now as well. So on that note, guys, I'll see you on the flip side. Bye!
Bye!